Hello, my name is Marcia Queen, and today I will be reviewing volcanic eruptions. First, we'll be going over what volcanoes are, as well as how volcanoes erupt, the types of volcanic eruptions, different places for these types, and as well as some conclusions we can come to. Let's get into it. So what is a volcano? A volcano is molten rock that is squeezed out from the Earth's surface. This is called magma, and beneath the surface, lava erupts and flows out from a volcano. The lava releases gas, ash, and solid rock. So first off, what are how do volcanic explosions happen? So volcanic explosions occur when there is heat conduction beneath the Earth's surface. This can happen in three different ways. They can happen with convergent plate boundaries, divergent plate boundaries, and hotspots. And we'll get into what those are a little bit later. All right, I just wanted to make a quick note. You may notice that I'm a little cut off here. And for future slides, I may move in different places. We're just going to play a little game of Find Wally. But I did this because in certain slides you couldn't quite see everything that was said, and I just wanted to make sure everything was clear. But moving on from that, on this slide, I am showing you the 6 places that I chose for that happen with these type of events of volcanic eruptions. And yeah, let's get into convergent plate boundaries. So first off, we've been speaking a lot about different types of we've been saying convergent plate boundary and all this stuff. But first, what is a boundary? Okay, so a boundary is basically when 2 plates meet. Okay, and to understand what a convergent plate boundary is, that's pretty necessary because a convergent plate boundary happens when the 2 plates collide with each other, and this causes the explosions for all of that. So yeah. So moving on to our first location or first volcano is Mount St. Helen. This is located in Washington State, and it is a convergent plate boundary. Volcano erupted in 1980. The volcanic eruption was very big, and it carried a lot of ash and stone. There was also many pyroclastic flows. As far as casualty, 57 people died, and there were many animals killed. As far as property damage, about 2,000 square meters of trees were blown down. Moving on to our next location, we have Mount Moyon, and this is located in the Philippines, and it's also a convergent plate boundary. So this mountain erupted in 1993, and there was an explosion from a crater. Actually, this is where it came from. The lava was slow moving, and there were small pyroclastic flows. As far as casualties, there were 79 deaths, and 10,000 people were forced out of their homes. So moving on to our next cause for volcanic eruptions, we have divergent plate boundaries. So these occur when plates are separated from each other. So they're the inverse of convergent plate boundaries. And for our third location, we have Mount, and I'm going to pronounce this absolutely terribly, Niagara. Yeah. And this is located in the Dominican Republic of Congo. And obviously this is a divergent plate boundary. Oh, so this volcano erupted in 2021 and 2022. It was not explosive, and there was the lava was very hot and fast moving. It everywhere. There was also pyroclastic flow and vast plumes of ash. As far as damage and fatalities, there were 31 people killed and 7,050 people injured. The reason for these deaths were mainly caused from gas, and the lava caused a lot of property damage as well. And now for our next volcano, for the divergent plate boundary, we have, and again, I'm going to pronounce this terribly, Bandaragaoa. Yes, this is located in Iceland. So this explosion occurred in 2014, and there was some explosive activity, but there was large emission of gas and very little ash. It was actually the record quantity of lava recorded. As far as property damage or like damage caused, there was very little because it was away from civilization. So moving on to our next and final reason for eruptions, we have hotspots. So hotspots are located farther away from plate boundaries and form under moving plates. They also form from rising magma that melts under the Earth's crust. And right here is our fifth location. And again, mispronunciation. It's becoming a trend now. Kilauea, I'm sorry, is located in Hawaii, and of course, this is a hotspot. So this volcano erupted in 2018 and 2022. There's extensive pyroclastic flows, plumes of ash, and rocks were propelled in the air. Quite far, actually. And as far as damage caused, we at least 31 homes were destroyed. 2,000 people were evacuated, and this damage was local. Luckily, we had no fatalities. So our first sixth and final location, we have Mauna Loa. This is located in Hawaii, and the type of boundary is a hotspot. Mauna Loa erupted in 2022. There was extensive lava flow as well as pyroclastic flows. There was also ash, and the eruption was explosive. As far as damage, there was fountains of lava and as well as volcanic gas. The lava did a lot of the damage, and this was local. Hi, over here now. Found her. So what are some conclusions we can come up with? All right, so some similarities that I noticed with convergent plate boundaries was that these volcanoes emitted more gas, and the lava was not as hot, so it was thicker in consistency. These volcanoes are also taller because of the collection of lava around it. They're also more likely to explode. However, these explosions have longer intervals of time between explosions. Okay, so similarities between divergent plate boundaries. Okay, so I noticed that in contrast to convergent plate boundaries, there was less gas emitted, and the lava was also very hot and thin. So it traveled longer distances. These I'm sorry, these volcanoes are also a lot shorter because of the flow of lava. They're also less likely to explode and have shorter intervals between explosions. All right, our third and final, we have hotspots. Okay, so these tend to have lot more gas emissions and ash. The lava flow tends to be abundant, and these usually form under the sea, and there are less volcanic explosions compared to convergent plate boundaries. There's also shorter periods of time between explosions. All right, here are my references. I'm just gonna be moving on to the next one. Right, and you can look right here, see those. I'm gonna go on to the next and final slide, and then we'll be closing. I'm so sorry, I missed one. All right, here's this one, and then the next one's gonna be the final. Okay, so this is our final slide. It was lovely presenting to you, and I hope you have an amazing day.